What was once the Polk County Courthouse now serves as the Polk County History Center and houses the Historical Museum and Library. The museum serves Polk's community through special events, volunteer opportunities, and educational programs. More details are coming up next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Tina Mann, and joining me in the studio today is Cynthia Alley, the Curator of Education and Programming at the Polk County History Center. Welcome back. So January, it's a new year, it's a new time to experience history at the History Center. So why don't you tell us what we have to expect in January?
Well, in January we're picking up with a lot of our old tours. We're really excited. We love to do the Oak Hill Cemetery tour for one. It's only offered during the cooler months, so we're really excited to be able to bring that one back. It is going to be on the first Saturday, which is January 5th this year. Like I said, we're so excited to be able to do this tour. It's a local favorite. People call and people want to join us and more information. It's one of our busier tours as well. We go over to Oak Hill Cemetery where some of the pioneers of Polk County are buried. There are a lot of generals from the Civil War buried there as well, a lot of veterans. So it's a fun tour to do.
It's neat to me how you guys are constantly researching new things so that you can provide updated content, so that even if you've done a cemetery tour in the past and you want to do one this season, you have new information.
Yes.
What about just something you've discovered since you started there?
Well, one thing that has captured my attention as well as some of the other people at the History Center is the Lamoureux family. The Lamoureux family are buried there, and they're in different areas of the cemetery. Turns out the father, Jules Lamoureux, was a Union soldier who's buried there, and he's one of two. And originally we thought there was only one Union soldier. Turns out there's two, and he actually had a different name before. And so we're trying to figure out what's his story and why does he have a different name? What's happening?
That's exciting. So I think this is a kind of a good time to also introduce or remind people of the fact that if they come across something in that tour or in their own history, you guys have resources there at the History Center where they can actually go in themselves and research it, and they might be able to present you with a new fact for the tour.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have the capabilities in our research library. Our staff there are more than happy to help with any kind of research that you want to do, or like you said, you discover something new and you want more information. We'd love to be able to talk to you and work with you on that.
I know there's a really big increase in the interest in Ancestry, especially with the Ancestry kits and things like that. I know there's been Black Friday, sales and everything else, advertising, lower priced Ancestry kits. But you guys can take that a step further, and you have access to Ancestry.com there. So in the new year, if you are really interested in researching, they should come visit you guys because you're all knowledgeable on how to do that research.
Yeah.
So it's really a cool resource. So they definitely don't want to miss out on the cemetery tour. As I said, even if they've done it before, it's cool to do once a year to find out what new information you guys have uncovered. And of course, January also starts back for Lunch and Learns.
Yes.
And I know the first quarter of 2018 is special. And why is it special?
Well, it's special because it complements our Smithsonian exhibit that's coming in February. So our first three speakers are related to different topics, a part of this Smithsonian tour, which is called Crossroads, Changes in Rural America. So these are the different changes that Polk County has gone through. So our first speaker is Richard Pfeiffer. He's a local historian with a very special interest in the phosphate towns. His presentation is called Life in Phosphate Towns because he is actually from Pierce, which was a phosphate town that he grew up. I believe he was 8 years old when his family moved, And from then, he just developed a really special appreciation for those towns.
It's funny because I grew up in Mulberry and grew up with the Phosphate Mountains. I mean, that's what I thought was a mountain when I was a little girl, because that's about as close as you get in Florida. So but I was used to driving past them on my bus every single day on the way to school, and I never really thought about what they were or, how things developed. But that's the great thing about this exhibit that's coming, is people can learn how and why these communities developed. Sometimes it's a specific industry, such as phosphate or the turpentine. There's a lot in eastern Polk County that have come up as a result of turpentine. Others developed right along the river because that's where transportation was at that point before roads. So it's really fascinating to learn about it. And of course, as we mentioned last month, there's a local component to it coming here. So and this is complementing it. I mean, we're talking about local roads and phosphate and things like that. So it's a really good time to come and learn about things that you really weren't aware of, and in a way that's presented really interestingly.
Yes.
So I know you're planning a grand opening of the exhibit coming up in February. That's what, February 1st?
February 1st. It's a Friday night at 6 o'clock.
Excellent. And it's always a big deal to have a Smithsonian exhibit at the History Center. It's not something that a lot of smaller museums are able to get the grant for. So we're very grateful for the Florida Humanities Council and all they do to get this local programming into our museum so that everybody can experience it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as part of that, you have another reenactor, correct?
Yes. So at the opening ceremony that's happening on Friday, February 1st, we have Henry B. Plant that's going to be joining us. He's going to be walking around talking to the different guests. If you have any questions about him, that would be a perfect time to come and talk to him.
I love when you guys do that. I know I've seen the Jacob Summerlin reenactor, and there have just been several that you guys have done, and it's always entertaining, and it's the actors you guys get do such a good job, and you're really convinced that they could have lived back there.
Yeah.
I know the one that I saw that was Jacob Summerlin, he did not drop out of character the entire day. I saw him before the event started and after the event ended, and he was still dead on in character. And I'm like, wow. I mean, it was amazing to me to watch. So it's just funny. And then Lunch and Learn is going to take on a little bit different of a look the rest of 2018.
Yes.
So people are going to have to kind of keep posted and follow you guys. And
we're really excited about it. It's going to be something very special and new. Something that really always draws people to us, and people always have questions. So we think that this new series is really going to expose, I guess is a good word, the History Center to our patrons who have been very loyal to us.
And of course, the architectural tour is back in January as well, as always.
Yes.
And is there going to be anything different about architectural tours in 2018? Are you going to start looking into new subjects or anything like that?
Yes, we are going to be introducing some special features. The tour itself is different than it was in the past. So if you haven't been to an architectural tour this past year in 2018, definitely check us out in January. It's like I said, it's brand new. It will be the third Saturday of the month, just like always. And we're really excited to be able to continue that and offer that.
See, it's one of my favorite things, because when it comes to history, my favorite thing is architecture.
Yes.
I live in Bartow. I love all the historic homes. It's one of my dreams to actually be able to restore one with period details, everything like that. And I love that building. I love walking through and seeing all the details and the craftsmanship that went into it, and just the stories you guys have are absolutely fascinating. And I know I've heard from people that have done it over and over, and they're like, every time I learn something new. Even Murtis is constantly like learning something new. So it's a time to experience the History Center in a way that you don't get to do just walking through. I mean, you guys actually are explaining things, and you have an opportunity to ask questions and learn about it. And sometimes those questions end up with you guys researching new things so that you can learn, like, expand the tour.
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually in the middle of trying to research the crash of the weight that came through.
Oh.
Yes, because there's some different accounts, different people are saying different things, so we're trying to figure out what actually happened. So that's kind of been my focus for the research for this tour over the last couple of months, and I've been able to get a hold of our library staff, and they've been helping us as well with the research. So it's been really interesting to see.
So let's talk briefly about the exhibits that are the newer ones in the History Center. Like, you guys now have an arts and cultural exhibit, correct?
Correct. That was open in September of last year in 2018, and we love it. It's a beautiful exhibit. If you haven't seen it, you have to come see it. My favorite part of it are the window treatments that is actually about the architecture in Polk County and some of those beautiful scenes. So you have to come check it out.
And even though Polk County is small, we do have quite a arts culture here, and a lot of local artists that are amazing and have really done some cool things. So it's a great place to go visit. And also, you have your industry gallery that was completely redone.
Yes. Yes, that gallery is open. Also, it opened as well back in September. Very beautiful exhibit. If you've not seen it, you must do so. It offers a glimpse into Publix, banking, Citizens Bank, farming industry, turpentine, citrus. I mean, anything that you can think of as far as industry goes here in Polk County, it's featured there in a very beautiful way, and we're very proud of it.
Yeah, and you guys have done an amazing job at updating everything and continue to do an amazing job.
Yes, thank you.
So we thank you for your work.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming out. Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continuously thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represent our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individuals, cultural groups, and events significant to the region. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, the History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. For more information about exhibits and events, you can check them out on the web at polkhistorycenter.org or give them a call at 863-534-4386.